The response to the Donald Trump Jr. interview last Thursday evening has been astonishing. You can still catch it on the ADH library. Just go to Alan on the app, ADH TV, or the website, which is ADH.TV, and the interview is there. I raised with him in that interview, and I'll be raising this with Peter Dutton when I speak to him later tonight, what Donald Trump as president said in 2020, which is very critical to us here today, where you're entitled to feel that everything you say may be interpreted as your critics see fit as a statement of race. Donald Trump said in 2020, and I quote, "The left is attempting to divide Americans by race in the service of political power," unquote. He further said, by viewing every issue through the lens of race, they want to impose a new segregation and we must not allow this to happen. He further said, President Trump, critical race theory, this is President Trump, critical race theory is being forced into our children's schools. It's being imposed into workplace training. It's being deployed to rip apart friends, neighbours and families. Teaching this horrible doctrine to our children is a form of child abuse in the truest sense of those words, unquote. Now, I raised the further issue on this subject with Donald Trump Jr. Here is the exchange, the question and his answer. Have we made any progress from 2020 when your dad said, and he didn't beg any pardons, and I quote him again, students in our universities are inundated with critical race theory. He said this is a Marxist doctrine holding that America, called Australia, is a wicked and racist nation. We're getting all this now. A wicked and racist nation. That even young children are complicit, he said, in oppression, and that our entire society must be radically reformed. How do we avoid this indoctrination, and where do we get politicians with the guts to oppose all this?
Well, we got to look long and hard. I mean, the answer of the left is everything. It's either, climate change or white supremacy. That's somehow the cause of, again, and solution for all of life's problems.
Well, further on, Donald Trump Jr. simply said, so few have the guts to call this out. Well, as you know, you couldn't move last week in this state, in Australia, or in the media, without having race thrown at you from every direction. In Canberra, The Voice, in broadcasting, the ABC, and in the New South Wales Parliament, with a recently elected Vietnamese Australian MP by the name of Tri Vo. Now, I'm told he's a good man, and why wouldn't he be? He won the seat of Cabramatta comfortably. But after Mr Vo asked his question in the Parliament last week, New South Wales Parliament, the Liberal MP Mark Courey called across the chamber, and I quote, "I thought that bloke worked in catering." Now, that's one of the many puny attempts at humour volunteered by MPs in Australia's parliaments every other day. I thought that bloke worked in catering. Well, all hell broke loose. And as Donald Trump made the point in 2020, every issue is viewed through the lens of race. So the Liberal MP Courey was asked to apologise because the comment was offensive and racist. Well, Courey did withdraw. It would have been better if he had asked for an explanation as to how the hell such a simple statement could be viewed through the prism of race. But a Greens MP argued that Courey should apologise to every MP in the chamber because, quote, when racist comments are made of such disgraceful proportions, and away she went. And the Strathfield MP, Jason Yat-sen-Lee, who has a Chinese background, called the comments deeply offensive because, quote, when my family came to Australia, we were in catering, unquote. Well, we're proud of everyone who comes to Australia, who rolls their sleeves up, makes a quid, pays taxes and contributes to the community. And a rewarding and productive vocation is catering. But how on earth can some interjection, "I thought that bloke worked in catering," be racist and offensive? Now, the sensible Australian response would be to the member who, though he'd come into Australia as a migrant and done very well as a member of Parliament, he should have stood up to the interjection and said, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did, and I'm proud of it. And I'm sure I made a greater contribution before I entered this chamber than you did. I didn't draw a salary from the ratepayers working unproductively on some local council." See, Courey, the bloke who interjected, had been a councillor. A far easier earn, isn't it, than being a caterer? So Labor's Mr Vo could have then said, listen, when you can prove that you've made your own way by rolling up your sleeves and taking risks and employing people, as happens in the catering industry, instead of living off the teat of some local council, when you've done that, I'm happy to hear from you, but until you have, sit down and keep quiet. But Donald Trump hit the nail on the head. The left is attempting to divide Americans, he said, by race, and so they are here. And that is why we must vote no to the voice.